Our solar system is a vast expanse of celestial bodies orbiting a central star, which in our case is the Sun. Solar system consists of planets, dwarf planets, moons, asteroids, comets, and other interstellar dust. Hello and welcome again to my channel. In this video, I'm going to give you an interesting insight into our solar system. You all might be familiar with the solar system from your early school days, and who hasn't drawn a solar system in their drawing books? We all know there are 9 planets. Oops, there were 9 planets, now it's 8. One Pluto has been removed from planets list and placed within dwarf planets. These planets in order, as we move away from the Sun, are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The solar system spans across 30 trillion kilometers, from Sun to the Oort cloud, which is considered as the edge of the system. The planets in solar system are separated by a continuous ring system of asteroids known as asteroid belt. Planets inside the belt are known as inner or terrestrial planets, which are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And those outside the belt are known as outer or jovian planets, which includes Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Planets inside the asteroid belt are rocky terrestrial planets having solid surfaces, while planets outside are gas giants with thick atmosphere and no solid surface at all. While comparing planets, I'll be using Earth as my reference point, and then we will look into parameters like distance from Sun, rotation period, revolution period around Sun, surface temperatures, and other interesting facts about them. So let's start with our very first member of the solar family, the Mercury. Mercury is the smallest and also the closest planet to the Sun. It is a rocky planet with very thin atmosphere, comprising mainly of hydrogen, helium, and oxygen. Despite being the closest planet to the Sun, Mercury is surprisingly not the hottest planet. Reason for this is the absence of an atmosphere. The atmosphere generates a greenhouse effect, which traps outgoing sun's radiation, further heating the surface. The average surface temperature of Mercury is about 167 degrees Celsius. Mercury is about 58 million kilometers from Sun, and it takes around 3 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. Mercury is about 1/3 the size of Earth. Comparing with other celestial bodies, it is smaller than Jupiter's moon Ganymede and Saturn's moon, Titan, and slightly bigger than our moon. Its surface is full of craters and many active volcanoes. Mercury takes around 88 days to complete one revolution around the Sun, making it faster than any other planet, while it takes around 59 days for one rotation around its axis, which means one day on Mercury is equal to 59 Earth days. Second planet is Venus. It is also known as Earth's twin, due to its size being same as Earth. But don't get carried away with this twin thing. Venus is nothing like Earth. It's better to say it a hell twin of Earth. Venus has solid surface covered in dome like volcanoes, rifts, and mountains, with expansive volcanic plains and vast, ridged plateaus. It is the hottest planet of the solar system, with a surface temperature of 464 degrees Celsius. It is about 109 million kilometers from Sun, and it takes around 6 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. Venus' atmosphere is dense, making it one of the most denser among terrestrial planets, and mainly consists of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. The environment of Venus is very toxic, given the thick clouds of sulfuric acid all over. Venus is quite slow around itself and takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation around its axis. However, it completes one revolution in just 225 days, making 1 year on it shorter than Earth. Venus also rotates in opposite direction as compared to other planets, hence Sun rises in west and sets in east on this planet. Next up, our home, our beautiful Earth, the blue planet. Earth is the only planet in entire solar system, or in the entire universe as far as we know, which supports life. It's a rocky planet with diverse terrains, mountains, plateaus, and volcanoes. Almost 70% of Earth is ocean. The atmosphere consists of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and other trace gases. The average surface temperature of Earth is about 15 degrees Celsius, and it is the only planet within the habitable zone, meaning being at such a distance from the parent star, which allows for life to sustain. Earth is about 150 million kilometers from Sun, and it takes around 8 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. It takes 365.24 days to complete one revolution around the Sun and 24 hours for one rotation around its axis. Out of all four inner planets, only Earth has its own natural satellite, that is the Moon. What do you think? Could there be life on any other planet elsewhere in the universe? Let me know in the comments section. Moving on to your next member, the red planet, the Mars. Since so many years, Mars has been a favorite planet for researchers and astronomers. We have sent several satellites and rovers on Mars for exploring life signs. The surface of Mars is orange-red because it is covered in iron oxide dust, giving it the nickname the Red Planet. Mars is the brightest visible object in the night sky. This planet is dry, rocky, and freezing cold, with an average surface temperature of minus 65 degrees Celsius, and it takes around 12 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. Mars is located at a distance of about 228 million kilometers from the Sun. As we keep on moving away from the Sun, the average surface temperature will keep on decreasing. It takes Mars 24.6 Earth hours to complete one rotation around its axis, meaning you'll have a similar day duration on Mars. However, it takes 687 days for Mars to complete one revolution around the Sun, which is around 1.88 Earth year. Olympus Mons, a volcano site on Mars, is the highest peak in the entire solar system. Comparing it with Mount Everest, it is 2.5 times taller than Everest. However, Mars is dry, but we have found evidence of an ancient river on Mars. Could it be a sign of ancient life on Mars? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Fifth, and the largest planet in the solar system, is our big brother, the Jupiter. Why I'm saying it big brother? Because it saved us from God knows how many asteroids. Jupiter, given its massive size, changes the path of asteroids coming towards Earth. Jupiter is a gas giant having no solid surface. It is made up of mainly hydrogen and helium. You may ask, then why hasn't Jupiter been able to start the nuclear fusion, given it has the same ingredients as the Sun? Well, that's because Jupiter lacked the required mass threshold for initiating a fusion between hydrogen atoms. It needed to be 80 times more massive than its current mass. This is also why Jupiter is known as a failed star. But for me, Jupiter is the king of planets. The atmosphere of Jupiter is very violent, with massive storms and crushing pressure. The famous Great Red Spot on Jupiter is a vortex storm, which is twice the width of Earth. Jupiter is so massive that it is almost twice the size of all other planets combined. More than 1,000 Earth-size objects could fit inside Jupiter. The average temperature on this planet is minus 110 degrees Celsius, but as you dive deeper into the atmosphere, the temperature keeps on rising and could reach as high as 1,000 degrees Celsius. It is located at distance of about 778 million kilometers from the Sun, and it takes around 43 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. Jupiter rotates around its axis in just 10 hours, making it fastest in the entire solar system. A day here will just be 10 hours long. However, it takes 12 Earth years to complete one revolution around the Sun. Quite a long year, isn't it? These gas giants have several moons orbiting them, and Jupiter has around 95 confirmed moons. Moving on to our sixth and second largest member of solar system, the Saturn. All of you are familiar with those ring system of Saturn. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Saturn, again, is a gas giant with no solid surface and mainly consists of hydrogen and helium, with traces of methane. Saturn's atmosphere is also violent, with whirls, vortices, storms, crushing pressure, and high temperature. The famous hexagon is a persistent cloud pattern in the shape of a hexagon that surrounds the planet's north pole. It's a jet stream made of atmospheric gases that rotates at the same rate as Saturn's radio emissions. The hexagon is so large that its sides are longer than Earth's diameter, and it's estimated to be 180 miles deep. Saturn's ring system is made up of many rings and ringlets that orbit the planet at high speeds. The rings are made of rock and ice and ranges in size from smaller than a grain of sand to the size of a mountain. The rings are named alphabetically in the order they were discovered, with the A ring being the first to be discovered. The main rings are A, B, and C, while the fainter rings are D, E, F, and G. These rings cover an area wider than the distance between Earth and Moon, and were supposed to be formed out of Saturn's moon and other asteroids. The average surface temperature here is around minus 178 degrees Celsius. Saturn is located at distance of about 127 million kilometers from the Sun, and it takes 79 minutes for sunlight to reach its surface. Saturn rotates around its axis every 10.7 hours, making the day here second shorter than Jupiter. It takes 29.4 years for one revolution around the Sun. As we continue to move away from the Sun, the area of orbit increases. That's why these faraway planets take so much time revolving around the Sun. What are your thoughts about this exotic planet? Last two planets of our solar system are Uranus and Neptune. They both are called ice giants by scientists in order to distinguish them from other gas giants. Being placed at such a great distance from Sun, these planets receive very low sunlight, resulting in ice formation. Uranus is tilted at around 98 degrees on its axis, which makes it look like the planet is rotating on its sides. According to some theories, a moon-sized asteroid collided with Uranus, which caused this extreme tilt. Uranus rotates around its axis every 17 hours, while it takes 84 years for one revolution around the Sun. Uranus also rotates in the opposite direction as Venus. Neptune, on the other hand, takes around 16 hours for one rotation, and it takes Neptune 165 years for completing one rotation around the Sun. Now that we have discussed all the planets, let's also talk about dwarf planets. A dwarf planet is a small planetary mass object that is in direct orbit around the Sun, massive enough to be gravitationally rounded, but insufficient to achieve orbital dominance like the 8 classical planets of the solar system. Pluto was considered to be as a planet for decades before the dwarf concept was adopted in 2006. The International Astronomical Union believes that there may be more than 100 dwarf planets yet to be discovered. So this was all in this video. Stay connected for more such contents.